We're going to practice 6 multiplication and 8 division questions that students should know by the end of grade 8. I understand that math can be challenging to tackle alone. This channel is here to support and assist you or your child in learning math. What you'll need: a pencil, download our video worksheet, link in the comments, or use your own piece of paper, and time to use your brain, so no calculators are allowed. Here's a look at 6 multiplication questions we're going to solve. Feel free to use the timestamp below to go directly to the answer key. Question number 1, 24 times 6. So first we're going to do 6 times 4, then we're going to do 6 times 2. Let's begin. So we're going to do 6 times 4. We're going to first draw a rough box. In the rough box, we're going to write 6 times 4. 6 times 4 equals 24. So because this is a 2-digit answer, we must put the number in the ones column, the 4, down to the 1 section of the answer column, and then the number that's in the tens column, the 2, we're going to carry that 2 to the other 2 in the tens column. Now we're going to multiply 6 times 2. So in the rough box, we're going to write 6 times 2. 6 times 2 equals 12. Now we're going to add the number that we carried, so the 2. So let's bring that down to the rough box. And now we're going to do 12 plus 2. 12 plus 2 equals 14. So this is a 2-digit answer, but we're finished multiplying, so we could actually just bring both numbers down to the intersection of the tens column. So the answer is 144. Again, the answer is 144. Question number 2, 37 times 7. What we're first going to do is 7 times 7 and then 7 times 3. So let's begin. So we're first going to do 7 times 7. So let's draw that rough box. And in that rough box, we're going to write 7 times 7. 7 times 7 equals 49. So this is a 2-digit answer, and we still have more multiplication to do. We're going to bring that 9 to the ones column of the answer section, and we're going to carry that 4 to the tens column by the 3. So now we're going to multiply 7 times 3. So in the rough box, let's write 7 times 3. 7 times 3 equals 21. So now we're going to add the number we carried, the 4. So let's bring that down to the rough box, and we're going to add that to the 21. So 21 plus 4 equals 25. So this is a 2-digit answer, and we're finished multiplying, so we're going to bring the entire answer down to the answer section of the tens column. The answer is 259. Again, the answer is 259. Question number 3, 23 times 11. So we're first going to begin with the ones column. So the number on the bottom of the ones column, which is the 1, we're going to multiply that 1 by 3. Then we're going to multiply it by 2. Now we're going to then focus on the bottom number in the tens column, which is also the 1. So we're going to do 1 times the 3 and then the 1 times the 2. Let's begin. So let's first draw a rough box, and in this rough box we're going to do 1 times 3. So let's write 1 times 3. 1 times 3 equals 3. So now let's bring that 3 down to the answer section of the ones column. Now we're going to do 1 times 2. In the rough box, we're going to write 1 times 2. 1 times 2 equals 2. So now we're going to bring 2 down to the answer section of the tens column. So now we're going to do the tens column. But first, we must write a 0 underneath the 3, a plus sign, and draw the line before we start. This just helps us to get organized. So what we're first going to do now is this tens column. So we're going to do 1 times 3 first. So in the rough box, we're going to write 1 times 3. 1 times 3 equals 3. So now we're going to bring 3 down to the answer section beside that 0 in the tens column. Now we're going to do 1 times 2. So in the rough box, we're going to write 1 times 2. 1 times 2 equals 2. So now we're going to bring that 2 down to the answer section in the 100 column. And now it is time to add. So now let's first begin with the ones column. So in the rough box, we're going to write 3 plus 0. 3 plus 0 equals 3. So we're going to bring that 3 down to the ones column in the answer section. Now we're going to do the next column. So we're going to do 2 plus 3. 2 plus 3 equals 5. So we're going to write 5 in the answer section of the tens column. Now we're going to do the last column, which is the hundreds column. Because there's not a number above the 2, we can just simply bring that 2 right down to the answer section, and our final answer is 253. Again, the answer is 253. Question number 4. 27 times 21. We're going to first begin with the ones column, so the 1 times 7, then we're going to do 1 times 2, then we're going to go to the tens column, and we're going to do 2 times 7, and then 2 times 2. Let's begin. So let's draw the rough box, and in the rough box, we're going to do 1 times 7. So let's write 1 times 7. 1 times 7 equals 7. So we're going to bring 7 down to the ones column of the answer section. Now we're going to write in the rough box 1 times 2. So 1 times 2 equals 2. So let's bring the 2 down to the tens column of the answer section. Now we're going to write the 0, then the plus sign, and then we're going to draw a line. Again, to help us to stay organized. An organized paper is an organized brain. So now what we're going to do is multiply the bottom number of the tens column, so the 2, by the 2 numbers above. So let's begin. So let's begin with 2 times 7. So in the rough box, we're going to write 2 times 7. 2 times 7 equals 14. So because this is a 2-digit answer and we still have more multiplying to go, we're going to carry the 1 and we're going to put the 4 down in the answer section of the tens column. Now we're going to do 2 times 2. So in the rough box, we're going to write 2 times 2. 2 times 2 equals 4. Now we're going to add that number that we carried. Let's bring down the 1. And then we're going to add 4 plus 1. 4 plus 1 equals 5. So let's bring that 5 down to the answer section of the hundreds column. Now it's time to add. So in the rough box, we're going to first start with the ones column. We're going to do 7 plus 0. 7 plus 0 equals 7. So let's write 7 down in the ones column of the answer section. Now we're going to do the tens column. So let's write 2 plus 4. 2 plus 4 equals 6. So let's write 6 down in the tens column of the answer section. So because there's nothing above that 5, we can just carry the 5 down to the answer section of the hundreds column. So the answer is 567. Again, the answer is 567. Here's the answer key. If you got an answer wrong, use a timestamp to go back and check your solution. Here's a look at division questions we're going to solve. And remember, knowing your multiplications will help you to quickly solve basic and harder division questions. We'll complete the next 4 questions using the long division method by showing our work, as it isn't about knowing the answer, but how you get to the answer is what matters the most. Feel free to use the timestamp below to go directly to the answer key. Question number 1, 36 divided by 3. What we're going to first do is 3 divided by 3 and then 6 divided by 3. So let's begin with 3 divided by 3. 3 times what gives us 3? 1. So now we're going to move that 1 on top of the 3 in the division section. And now we got to determine what are we going to subtract that 3 in the division section that's underlined by. So let's draw a rough box, and in that rough box, we're going to write, what does 3 times 1 equal? So 3 times 1 equals 3. So now we're going to move that 3 underneath the 3 in the division section until 3 minus 3 equals 0. So now let's divide the 6. 6 divided by 3. So 3 times what gives us 6? 2. Now we're going to move that 2 on top of the 6. And then we got to find out, what are we going to divide that 6 by? So in that rough box, we're going to write 3 times 2. 3 times 2 equals 6. So we're going to move that 6 underneath the other 6, and we're going to do 6 minus 6. 6 minus 6 equals 0. So the answer is 12. Question number 2. 48 divided by 4. We're going to do 4 divided by 4 first, and then 8 divided by 4. So let's begin. 4 divided by 4. 4 times what gives us 4? 1. Now we're going to move the 1 on top of the 4 in the division section. Then we're going to find out what are we going to subtract that 4 by. So in that rough box, we're going to write 4 times 1. 4 times 1 equals 4. Now we're going to write 4 underneath the 4 in the division section. We're going to subtract these two numbers. So 4 minus 4 equals 0. Now we're going to do 8 divided by 4. 4 times what gives us 8? 2. So we're going to move that 2 on top of the 8 in the division section. Now we need to determine what are we going to subtract that 8 by. So in that rough box, we're going to write 4 times 2. 4 times 2 equals 8. So we're going to move that 8 to the division section underneath the 8. Then we're going to subtract the two numbers. So 8 minus 8. 8 minus 8 equals 0. So the answer is 12. Question number 3, we have 4,324 divided by 4. We're first going to begin with dividing 4 divided by 4. And then we're going to find the answer. And remember, we have to subtract to find out what is the other number that we're dividing by. Because it might be 3, it might be 32, it might be 4. We're not sure. So we got to take our time with this question. So let's just start with 4 divided by 4. 4 times what gives us 4? 1. So let's move that 1 on top of the 4. And remember, we got to determine what are we going to subtract that 4 by. So let's draw a rough box. And in that rough box, we're going to write 4 times 1. 4 times 1 equals 4. Then we're going to move that 4 under the 4 in the division section. We're going to do 4 minus 4. 4 minus 4 equals 0. Okay, and now we got to bring down that 3. Now the next number that we're going to subtract is the 3. So 4 times what gives us 3? The answer is 0. So remember, 3 doesn't go into 4. Therefore, the closest number to 3 without going over is 0. So 4 times 0. So we're going to bring that 0 on top of that 3. And then we're going to say, what are we going to minus that 3 by? So in the rough box, we're going to write 4 times 0. 4 times 0 equals 0. So we're going to move that 0 underneath the 3 in the division section. Now we have to do 3 minus 0. 3 minus 0 equals 3. Now we have to bring that 2 down beside the 3. Okay, so now we're going to subtract 32. So 4 times what equals 32? 8. So now we're going to move that 8 to the answer section on top of the 2. We're going to draw a rough box to determine what are we going to write under 32. We're going to do 4 times 8 equals 32. Now we're going to write the 32 underneath the 32 in the division section. Then we're going to do 32 minus 32, which equals 0. Now we're going to bring down that 4. And now we're going to divide 4 divided by 4. So 4 times what equals 4? 1. So we're going to move that 1 on top of the 4 in the division section. Draw that rough box in order to determine what are we writing underneath that 4 in the division section. So 4 times 1, we're going to write in the rough box, 4 times 1 equals 4. We're going to write that 4 underneath the 4 in the division section. Then we're going to do 4 minus 4. 4 minus 4 equals 0. So the answer is 1,081. Question number 4. We're going to do 2,539 divided by 2. So let's just begin with the 2. So 2 times what gives us 2? 1. So we're going to move that 1 on top of the answer in the division section. Now we have to determine what are we going to subtract that 2 in the division section by. We typically subtract it by the answer. So 2 times 1 gives us 2. Therefore, we're going to subtract it by the 2. So 2 minus 2 equals 0. Now we got to bring down that 5. So the next thing that we're going to divide is 5 divided by 2. So again, we're going to divide 5 divided by 2. 2 times what gives us 5? 2. 5 doesn't go into 2, therefore the closest number without going over is 2 times 2, which equals 4. So we're going to move that 2 on top of the 5, and then we got to subtract the 5 by the answer. So in this case, 2 times 2 equals 4. So we're going to move that 4 underneath the 5. We're going to do 5 minus 4, which equals 1. Then we're going to bring down that 3. And now we're going to do 13 divided by 2. So 13 divided by 2, 2 times what equals 13? 6. The answer is 6 because 13 doesn't go into 2, but 12 does. So therefore, the closest number to 13 without going over is 2 times 6. Because remember, 2 times 7 is 14, but we went over the 13. So 2 times 6 equals 12. Therefore, we're going to move that 6 on top of the 3. And then after, we know we're going to subtract the 13 by the answer, which is 12, because 2 times 6 is 12. So 13 minus 12 equals 1. Then we're going to bring down that 9, and we're going to subtract 19 divided by 2. So 19 divided by 2, 2 times what gives us 19? Nine. The closest number to 19 is 18. So again, 19 does not go into 2. Therefore, the closest number to 19 without going over, because 2 times 10 equals 20. So therefore, the closest number to 19 without going over is 2 times 9, which is 18. So we're going to put that 9 on top of the 9. And remember, the answer for 2 times 9 equals 18. We're going to move underneath the 19 to subtract it by. So 19 minus 18 equals 1. We have no numbers to divide. Therefore, we have a remainder of 1. So the answer for 2,539 divided by 2 is 1,269 with a remainder of 1. Here's the answer key. If you got an answer wrong, use a timestamp to go back and check your solution. Good job at taking ownership over your education. You did it! See you in the next video.